For this lesson today, guys, you're going to be needing your spiral cards, so please make sure that you get them. We're going to be inputting our ER verbs. I do believe that we've done some ER verbs, but I don't have the cards, so I'm not sure. So if you have already input them into your cards, you don't need to. But if you have not, please go ahead and add the ER verbs because they do have a different ending than your typical AR verbs. So I want to go ahead and discuss with you three special verbs: the ver, leer, and creer. Now, ver means to see, leer is to read, and creer is to believe. You do not have to write all three in your cards, but I would suggest you write ver because it does have a particular ending, and one of these two. So out of the three verbs, write two of them in your card. And you can write them on the same card, and then just make sure that it's going to be 9 plus this would be 10. So it would be 20 points written down in the top right corner, just like you typically do. The first verb is ver, to see. Now, a side note, remember our other verb, which was an irregular verb, is the verb ir. And recall that the verb ir conjugates with a V. Yo voy, usted va, tú vas, and so forth. It's a V, just like this. So please don't get these two verbs mixed up. The root of the infinitive of to go is IR, but it conjugates to have a V in its conjugated word. Ver already is in the V format, even in its infinitive, so that is the difference. So please don't mix the two verbs up. That is a common error. Okay? All right, back to ver. Here are your 9 pronouns, and we're going to go through each of them with the conjugation after we change the ER ending. So for the first one, yo, the ending for yo is always going to be the same. It's voy. Or sorry, excuse me, I'm thinking of ir. I just made that mistake. So it's going to be yo. The V stays there, and then it's going to be your normal E ending. It's going to be yo ve. Okay? Now, veo, sorry, yo veo. It has the O, and this is an exception to this, and I'll explain in a second. But just like all of your other yo verbs, yo pronouns, you're going to end up with the O as the ending. Think of the word presentar. When you want to say yo presentar, you say yo presento. So it stays the same. The only difference is you keep the E in there. Okay? Now we're going to move on to usted. So usted, the V is your stem, and you're going to keep the E, and it's going to be ve. Usted ve. And then ves is going to be irregular, tu, so it's in the formal and the informal U, so tu ves. El and ella are singular. Remember that the singular is going to be the same as usted. I'm going to put a T here. Change that, make it a usted. So it's going to be the same. So él ve, ella ve. Okay? Now we're going to do the plural, which is ellos, ellas, and ustedes. And if you haven't picked up on it so far, the word is going to be ve, and then you're going to add the N. So ven. So you would say, ellos ven la película. Ellas ven la película. Ustedes ven la película. Película is a movie. Okay? So, one more time. Yo veo, usted ve, tú ves, él, ella ve, ellos, ellas ven. Recall, these are plural, these are singular. So if you had a singular subject that was not a pronoun, you would still say it with the ve. So, el profesor ve la televisión. So the professor sees the TV. Okay? All right, let's move on to leer. The stem is underlined, LE. That means LE is going to be in here all the way down. And then I'm going to change the ER to have the exact same ending. So it's going to be yo leo. Yo leo la televisión. I'm sorry, that would be, I'm reading the TV, so that would be wrong. Yo leo la revista. I read the magazine. Yo leo. Okay? Usted lee. This is where you probably are going to get a little bit uncomfortable because over here you have only one E, but over here you have two. And that's because the stem has an E in it and over here it does not. So you do have to say usted lee. Then you have tú lees, él and ella lee. I'm just going to do the little notation that indicates you're repeating. And then ellos, ellas, and ustedes leen. Okay? So remember, again, even though it appears and it looks awkward, you do need the double E because of the stem. The same is going to be true with creer. You're going to put, over here, you're going to say, yo creo. Now, be sure to put creo. If you put yo creo, that's not a word. Okay? So yo creo, usted cree. Now, I forgot to tell you what this means. It's to believe. I think it's one of your vocab words, so you should be familiar with it. So it would be usted cree en Jesús Cristo. Tú crees la verdad. You believe the truth. Él, ella, cree. Ellos, ellas, ustedes creen. Okay? So we have yo creo and usted crea, tú crees, él, ella cree. Repeat it. Ellos, ellas, ustedes creen. We have the plural and the singular. I want you to remember the root of ver is only V. The root for leer is LE, and the root for creer is CRE. Also in your notes, go ahead and write down ver and then one of these two, and then tell me what they mean. The next time you quiz, it will be on your ER verbs. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Your homework for that lesson is going to be page 204, 1 through 30, and you're doing the memory verse as well. And as a reminder, your vocab quiz 12A will be on Wednesday, and your your memory verse quiz is on Thursday. No, I did say Friday, didn't I? Yes, it's Friday. So make sure that before Friday you call in for your memory verse quiz, and before Wednesday you call in for your vocab quiz. Okay, guys, hasta luego.